Thomas à Kempis gives us a warning that is increasingly important in these days of false news and deception. He said this: "We must not give ear to every saying or suggestion, but ought warily and leisurely to ponder things according to the will of God." And John warned us similarly: "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but test the spirits, whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Well, nothing has changed in 2,000 years. The enemy is abroad, and his method is deception. Paul warned that in the end times people would believe a lie. Be circumspect. That's the old-fashioned word for be wary, be watchful, and on your guard. When we are circumspect, we are less vulnerable to the latest prophecy or wild claim that self-proclaimed prophets are making. Circumspection means to look around, to always pay attention to the bigger picture. The reason we have so much disagreement in the church is often because we are only looking at one angle of a subject. The message attracts us for some reason. We want to believe it, and we look for scriptures that support it and ignore those that say otherwise. This is dangerous. We must look at all the relevant scriptures. Also, regarding those people who claim to be prophets or frequently hear personal messages from God, we need circumspection regarding their message, but we can save ourselves a lot of time and trouble by practicing circumspection of their lives and history. Are they fabulously wealthy? Do they have a sound marriage and family? Does their preaching draw undue attention to themselves in the way they speak, act, and dress? How have they responded in the past to criticism? These are just a few of the questions to ask before you spend time and energy reading their teachings. As Thomas à Kempis said, we must not give ear to every saying or suggestion. To any skeptic listening to this, if you were more circumspect, you could avoid believing the world's lies. Take the resurrection of Jesus, for instance. The world says it never happened, and that the disciples simply lied about the matter, stealing the body and burying it later on secretly. The circumspect person will be on his guard and look at the surrounding facts. He will learn that all the disciples suffered cruel martyrdom later on in their lives, except for John, who was thrown into boiling oil and survived. But they all suffered cruel martyrdom, even though they were given the opportunity to avoid death by saying that they had concocted the story of the resurrection. But all of them were prepared to die for what they knew to be utter truth. Circumspection can save lives, your life and mine. If only Eve hadn't naively given ear to the serpent's suggestion in the garden, she would have recognized instantly that his words were lies. The serpent said that God was only being mean when he forbade them to eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. He knew that they would instantly become like him. Had she thought warily and leisurely, as Thomas à Kempis said, about his words, and reminded herself of what she already knew about God, that he was kind and loving and caring, she would not have believed the lie. Today, we're in need of discernment, the habit of watchfulness. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but test the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. As the big day of Jesus' return, whether rapture or second coming, the need for watchfulness intensifies.